Imagine you are driving a high-performance car with the parking brake fully engaged. You slam your foot on the gas, the engine roars, the fuel burns, and the wheels spin, but you barely move an inch. You are expending massive amounts of energy just to stand still. This is the definition of friction. In our lives, this friction manifests as the invisible wall, the project that never launches, the relationship that stays in deadlock, the financial breakthrough that is always just out of reach. We often blame bad luck or timing, but the ancient seers of India identified a specific energetic blockage that sits between human effort and divine success. And they didn't just identify the problem, they codified the solution into a single, complex, and incredibly powerful archetype, Vignaharta, the remover of obstacles. We know him as Lord Ganesha. Most people recognize the elephant-headed deity as a charming cultural icon or a statue on a dashboard, but to view him only as a symbol of good luck is to miss the profound psychological and spiritual technology he represents. This isn't just about praying for a promotion. This is about accessing a specific frequency of consciousness that dissolves the friction in your life. Today, we are going to deconstruct the methodology of Ganesha. We are going to bypass the surface-level mythology and dive into the deep symbolism and the practical, step-by-step ritual mechanics that allow you to tap into the energy of the Lord of Beginnings. If you are tired of pushing against a locked door, this is your key. To understand why Ganesha is the absolute first entity invoked in any Hindu ceremony before even the creator or the destroyer, we have to look at the violence and the beauty of his origin story. This is not a gentle fairy tale. It is a cosmic clash. The legend tells us that goddess Parvati, the embodiment of material nature and power, created a boy from the turmeric paste of her own body. She breathed life into him to be her guardian, her absolute line of defense. When Lord Shiva, the embodiment of pure, unmanifest consciousness, tried to enter, the boy stopped him. The boy didn't know Shiva. He only knew his duty. What followed was a cataclysmic battle between the finite ego and infinite consciousness. In a moment of divine fury, Shiva severed the boy's head. This decapitation is the critical moment. It symbolizes the necessary death of the human ego, the small, arrogant I that thinks it is separate from the universe. When Parvati's grief threatened to unmake reality, Shiva promised restoration. But he didn't replace the human head with another human head. He replaced it with the head of an elephant. This is the molecular expansion of the soul. The small, limited human brain was replaced by the massive, wise, and all-encompassing consciousness of the elephant. Ganesha was reborn not just as a boy, but as the synthesis of man and animal, earth and divine. Shiva named him the Lord of the Ganas, the commander of the elemental forces. The decree was absolute. No ritual is valid. No venture can succeed unless Ganesha is worshipped first. He is the gatekeeper. You cannot access the divine without first clearing the blockage of the ego. But how does this translate to your modern life? The answer lies in the visual code of Ganesha's form. Every attribute is a piece of psychological advice waiting to be unpacked. Look at the head. The elephant is the jungle's heavy machinery. It doesn't go around obstacles. It walks through them. It is gentle yet unstoppable. The massive head represents the vastness of wisdom required to solve life's complex problems. Then, observe the ears. They are enormous. In a world that rewards talking, shouting, and broadcasting, Ganesha's ears are a reminder that the ultimate power lies in listening. To remove an obstacle, you first have to hear what the universe is telling you. You have to listen to the silence between the thoughts. Contrast this with his eyes. They are small, sharp, and piercing. This is the power of dharana, laser-like concentration. While the big ears take in everything, the small eyes focus entirely on the singular goal. It's the ability to see the microscopic detail that solves the macroscopic problem. Perhaps the most fascinating symbol is the broken tusk. Ganesha is imperfect. Legend says he broke his own tusk to use as a pen to write the great epic, the Mahabharata, because no other pen could withstand the speed of the dictation. This is the archetype of sacrifice. It tells us that you cannot achieve greatness without giving up a piece of yourself, your vanity, your comfort, or your need to be perfect. It is a visual command to prioritize function over form, duty over beauty. And finally, look at what he rides. A massive deity riding a tiny mouse. It looks absurd, but it is profound. The mouse represents the mammalian brain, the twitchy, nervous, desire-filled mind that nibbles away at your peace. It represents the ego that runs into dark corners. Ganesha doesn't kill the mouse, he rides it. He has mastered his desires. He controls the wandering mind rather than letting the mind control him. This is the state you need to be in to remove obstacles. Heavy in wisdom, light in spirit, and in total control of your instincts. So, how do you activate this energy? You don't need a temple priest. You need sincerity and a method. We are going to break down a high-fidelity, three-step protocol that acts as a spiritual software update for your reality. Phase 1 is the Sankalpa, or the architecture of intention. You cannot hit a target you haven't defined. Find a quiet space where the noise of the world cannot reach you. Sit down, close your eyes, and stabilize your breath. You are not just wishing for something. You are setting a coordinate. Visualize the specific barrier in your life. Is it fear? Is it a lack of resources? Is it a person? Acknowledge it without panic. Then, internally verbalize your intent. Speak to Ganesha as a conscious force. Say, I am facing this wall. I have done all I can with my human strength. I now require the force that breaks the dam. This honesty is the signal flare. Phase 2 is Samarpan, or the physics of exchange. The universe operates on exchange. To receive, you must give. This is the offering. It doesn't need to be gold, it needs to be pure. A flower, a fruit, a small sweet like a modak, or even a glass of water. As you place this object down, you are physically acting out the concept of surrender. You are saying, I am not the owner of the results, I am just the worker. If you have a coconut, break it. The shattering of the hard shell to reveal the pure white inside is the most visceral simulation of smashing the ego to reveal the soul. Phase 3 is the sonic trigger, the mantra. Sound is energy. The mantra for Ganesha is a specific key code. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Let's unpack the acoustics of this. Om is the universal hum. Gam is the seed sound, the bija of Ganesha. It is the sonic representation of gravity and grounding. When you chant this, you are vibrating your own nervous system to match the frequency of stability. Ganapatayi calls upon the collective consciousness. Namaha is the bow, the neutralization of pride. Chant this 108 times, or 27 times, or even just 9 times, but do it with such intensity that you feel the vibration in your chest. Visualize a red light or a massive, benevolent force sweeping through your timeline, physically pushing the debris of your life aside. Once you open your eyes, the ritual is technically over, but the process has just begun. This is the part most people miss. You have to move. You have to act. Ganesha is not a magic wand that deletes your problems while you sleep. He is the wind in your sails. You still have to steer the boat. You might find that the obstacle doesn't disappear, but you suddenly have the courage to confront it. You might get a phone call out of the blue. You might have a sudden realization, a download of an idea that solves the puzzle. This is the blessing. It is subtle, it is synchronous, and it is powerful. You have the capacity to live a life of flow. The friction you feel is not mandatory. By connecting with the archetype of Ganesha, you are essentially aligning yourself with the cosmic path of least resistance. You are upgrading from the small, fearful mouse to the wise, unstoppable elephant. Carry this affirmation in your mental pocket today. My path is clear. My wisdom is vast. The force that governs the universe is clearing the road ahead of me. Now, look at that obstacle one more time. It looks smaller now, doesn't it? That is the Ganesha effect.